Here's a funky boss. Reminds me somewhat of the Blot, or whatever it is, in Epic Mickey.
Yes, Mr. Squirrel.
Just in the sense that it's this odd amalgamation of robot with big claws, and it's spider-like and also Disney-like. I don't know. It is not the most threatening boss.
I'm taking over.
But it's still cool. I don't know, I like it.
Now then, lesson 1, ballistics. This is my minigun. It fires 8,000 rounds per second.
You say minigun, but what you really mean is supermassive gun.
Alloy heads and high explosive charge. Very, very messy.
Okay, get in there, Conker. That is not getting in there, Conker. Alright. I believe that is my first time ever dying to that boss. We're just cracking all the records here. First I play half the game without deaths, and now this. This is the best playthrough. I am so good at this game. And also, that in the background, that pillar behind Conker's cigarette smoke, that kind of looks like a face. I don't know why it looks like a face to me, because it probably doesn't actually look like much of a face. But it looks like a face with a really, really long dunce cap top. Alright, skip this scene. Be more prepared to run to the tank and actually control it properly. It's a very slippery tank. So, my apologies for not being exceptional at controlling it. Alright, now I am already better prepared for this part. Lesson 1. Thank you, little girl. You are a great teacher. I don't even know if I have to go into first-person mode for this. Maybe I do. Yeah, this boss is just hide behind the pillars and shoot at an opportune time. The boss. There's not really much else to it. So, it is simple, but still an interesting idea. Shoot her out of the guy's hand. That guy.
No, that's cute.
Oh yeah, thinking back to when Rodent was saying, or no, when he was saying about Rodent, oh hey, it's you guys. Saying that in plural whenever it's clearly not plural.
This is very special. High energy.
Yeah, okay, but I don't really feel like this dialogue is worth being quiet for, so... I think the idea with this is just you fake it out and then go to the opposite one and shoot. Yeah, simple enough. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of in Super Mario RPG, whenever Chef Torte says, "You fools!" when referring to just Mario standing on the cake, when it's implied that there's more than just Mario standing on the cake, there's also his partners. And also, in school, once again with the school stuff, like, several of my teachers have said things like, so this little guy here, when talking about inanimate objects and things that are not people,
Don't fancy your chances very much, Mr. Squirrel.
example being like, you see this little guy here, which is actually a pot that you're supposed to be drawing. Like, I think you should make this little guy a little darker. So, of course, if you take this out of context, it sounds much worse than it actually is. This little guy is too dark. You need to make him lighter. We can't have any darks in here. No, never mind. We're playing Conker's Bad Fur Day. I think it might be acceptable to have offensive jokes.
No, keep calm.
I don't actually mean the offensive jokes. Of course, when I think about that, I think about whenever my brother... I was shopping with my brother, I guess probably in Walmart, and he saw a bag of goldfish, mixed pretzel goldfish and cheddar goldfish. And he said, "Wow, Those two shouldn't be in the same bag. And then he felt bad and he bought the goldfish. Poor tank. See, whenever it exploded earlier, Conker died with it. But in a circumstantial cutscene, it's okay. He gets out fine. And there's Rodent.
Oh no. He didn't make it.
That's something I've been thinking about lately too, actually, but I'll get to that later, I guess.
A superb soldier. A military tactician. And yes, he was mortal. Like the rest of us. But at least we showed that bitch who's boss.
I believe that is the second instance of Conker swearing in the whole game, and the first time was asses, so that might not count.
Show's not over till the little girl sings. Ooh, what's this? A little red button. I think I'll press it. Ooh, and what's that? Lovely
Looks like a
countdown.
drill.
I wonder what's going to happen now.
It is a countdown, but to me it looks like a drill with two drill bit ends in opposite directions.
Self-destruct. Oh, give me strength.
Every great game's gotta have one. The countdown is of little consequence. It is an added stress factor. There might be one or two lasers here. That makes this part... This is the main source of the stress here. But there are still some teddies to worry about, so... Let's see. I believe they're going to be right here. I think. I mean, I kind of expect them to be here, but maybe not. Let's see. This should be fine. Okay, are there any more? Are there any teddies at all here yet? I feel like there should be. No? Not yet? Alright. Here's that jump that I miraculously made perfectly a second ago. Not a second ago, I mean like 30 hours ago. I don't know how I did that. That is the hardest jump, as far as I'm concerned. Alright, here are the bears. Disappearing bears. I don't care about you bears. Oh wait, no, this... Actually, this one's not that bad. This one, all you have to do is crawl. I didn't crawl the most gracefully there, but it worked. Any bears here? Yes? No? Maybe so? No. Anyone remember those yes, no, maybe cookies? Again, I had something else that I was going to discuss. What was that? Oh, about how Conker conveniently... Shoot. Let me figure out how I'm going to do this. That should work, right? Well, it worked well enough. I don't need to be perfect at this. Oh, and suddenly I don't have a gun. I just have to go over here, not run into the suddenly blue lasers, then get out this gun. Does that just say Will? On the garage door over there? What does that say? Probably says kill, but it... I don't know what that says. And death. Please tell me that I got spawned back here, because I don't really want to go through the lasers again. I was impressed with myself for... Okay, no. We have to do the lasers again. I was impressed with myself for getting through that on the first try. Because this was definitely the point in the game that gave me the most deaths my first time playing. And it looks like it might give me some more. Because I am not being as careful this time as I was the first time. Whoa. That was... special. But anyways, what I was talking about, Conker survives whenever the tank explodes because of the cutscene, but he didn't whenever I was just playing the game in a normal sense. And I've been thinking, like, wouldn't that be a suitable explanation for miracles happening in the world? Like, I've thought before about what if the world was actually just one big video game, and usually I mean that in the sense of, like, instead of very tiny particles, maybe we're all made up of voxels, which would be, like, that's 3D pixels. I figured maybe that would make sense as to how the whole universe is put together. We're all just, like, maybe there's some actual frame rate at which the entire universe runs, and it's just unfamiliar to us. If we have a creator who programmed the world, then that same creator could also program exceptions to the rules. Like, in science we're always concerned with what the actual rules of the universe are, what absolute rules tie everything together. It would make sense for there to be, like, programmed cutscenes essentially for people. Like, certain times when the rules that we expect of the universe are broken. Darn it all. You just have to make the tiniest jump there and then start hovering. Yeah, I think I more or less got out what I was trying to say there, so I'll meet you back. Yep, back to this again with one chocolate piece. I don't expect this to go well. I honestly don't know how you're supposed to reliably get through this part, because it seems like you just get shot immediately. Just fire at all of you. Oh, there were only like 4 of you. Oh, that says kill. Okay, now that I see it up close, it makes a lot more sense to me. It did not say will. But I might have to write a will while I'm playing this game. Oh yes, here's the Robin Williams-esque music that I love. I will definitely stay quiet for this. As I die 100,000 times. Well, that was short-lived, but the music looped around, so we got to hear it. I honestly have no idea what the strategy for this part is, because I tried to be a little bit strategic about it just then by attempting to kill the bear that was shooting rockets. But usually what I do to get through this part is I just run and hope that I survive. And eventually it works. I just die a lot in the process, and it feels basically like luck. So if there is a way to actually get through this in a way that's reliable, I have no idea what it is. And so I consider this in some ways the worst part of the game. Just design-wise, because I really have no idea what the point of it is. Or like what the objective is, besides just get to the end. There really doesn't seem to be a rhyme or reason to it. But my hope is that I will get it this time, because I am somewhat close. Nope, that did not work. It's pretty great. Oh well, we might be here a while. Get your popcorn. I just had some popcorn earlier. It was good popcorn. It was, had seasoning salt and garlic. Because I like to be creative with my popcorn. I don't just like to have butter and salt. Might as well add some other flavors to it to make it somewhat interesting. Of course, I don't like yeast. I can't imagine why people like yeast. It's just one of many foods that I dislike that cannot be explained. I know that in my life, I have tried Mountain Dew maybe twice, and both times it tasted exactly the way diarrhea smells. Everyone else in my family seems to really like Mountain Dew, but my taste buds do not accept it. And also bell peppers. I hate bell peppers because I don't like the smell, and my parents have bell peppers all the time. Or at least my dad does. My dad also likes spaghetti a whole lot. He could probably eat nothing but spaghetti for the rest of his life and be satisfied. And because of that, I've gotten so sick of spaghetti that I would rather not have it for the rest of my life. Even though I don't dislike spaghetti, I just don't want it anymore. If that makes any sense. It's like whenever you're overexposed to something, you just feel like you need to be distanced from it. And in my case, it feels like I need to be distanced from spaghetti forever, because that will make up for what feels like forever having had it. Yeah, I really don't get what the strategy here is. As you can plainly see by the constant death of me pretty much just doing the same thing over and over. I was thinking maybe I could, like, jump over this gate. Not a gate, it's a fence, but I figured maybe I could find a way to jump over the fence and maybe skip part of this area, but that doesn't seem like it's going to happen, because there's not really any low points. And I just got some health knocked off by fall damage, and then I exploded into a pile of blood and guts. Maybe if I call upon the spirit of the unicorns, I can teleport to the boat. Because that makes sense. Maybe I can just stand here. Yeah, wait for you to explode. Then stand here, wait for another explosion. Is this the actual strategy that you're supposed to use? Oh my gosh, so many of them just came out of nowhere. This is terrible. It's very generous, too, with the actual hitbox of getting to the boat. You don't have to fully reach the boat, you just have to be within, like, 10 feet of it. So, even if I'm not all the way through the area, I should be able to hit the hitbox and save the day. But no. No, this is the worst part of the game. It is very much unfair and without explanation. But that was kind of fascinating. He just kind of blew himself up there, I think. Or something shot him. Okay, shoot yourself. No, not you. Maybe if I do serpentine. Serpentine will work. It did not work. There's the boat right there. Can I just sort of get near it? Can I get shot over the fence? That would be useful. Wouldn't it be amazing if you could just get shot over the fence? Don't think that's going to happen, but it might be a speedrunning tactic. I can't imagine someone speedrunning and getting to this part, because how on earth? Just how? Oh, is this going to be the run? Is this going to be the run? All I have to do is get past the fence? No! No! I was right there. All I had to do was run a few more feet and I think I would have had it. But no! 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 And of course I was going to get shot, because there's 6 bears that just show up out of nowhere. I've had some bad luck with this part, but this is the worst that I think I've ever had. Oh my gosh. Okay, thank goodness for you exploding. Jump, jump, get out. No, no! Why did you fly that direction, Conker? You're not conquering anything, you're just a conquer nut. Do you think there's enough screen shake? This isn't Nuclear Throne, we don't need so much screen shake. Oh, thank goodness. I just barely scraped against the hitbox just then, I guess.
What? Hey guys, hold it there! There's another one! Oh my giddy aunt!
Oh my giddy aunt, indeed. Well, I'll give them one thing. It definitely feels like... It definitely feels as hopeless as I'm sure war does. Well, obviously war would be more hopeless than that, but... If the idea of that whole sequence was to emulate the real feeling of war with guns blazing and everyone dying, they did a good job. Because war is hell, and that was sort of hellish.